What is an athlete? When you think of an athlete, you probably think of this, or this, or this. In other words, you think of somebody who is engaged in some sport or another, competing for a prize, a title, a trophy, a medal, money, fame, honor, and so on. We recognize these as people who work hard and devote a lot of their time and energy to the attainment of physical excellence. They train, they practice, and they perform. But let me ask you, is this an athlete? She's training, practicing, performing, but she's not a competitor. She seeks perfection in her art, and she trains and practices and performs week in and week out. Her art is not about trophies or medals or money. Her rewards seem rather more intangible. Is she an athlete? Or how about this fireman? Or these Marines? Firemen, police, soldiers, and Marines train hard to achieve high levels of physical performance. They practice, they drill, and they engage in high-risk physical performance under extreme conditions. But they'll never get a trophy, prize money, or an endorsement deal for deodorant or fitness gear. Their prize is to save lives, defend property, protect freedom, and survive another day. So, are they athletes? Yeah, I think they are. And depending on whether and how you train, I think you are too, or at least you could be. Let's talk about that. Hi, I'm Jonathon Sullivan, and welcome back to Greysteel. The word athlete is an ancient one. It comes to us from the ancient Greek athletes, which in turn comes from the word athlon, meaning prize. Athlon doesn't specify what kind of prize any more than the English word does. Prize is a pretty broad concept, and I think athlete can be a pretty broad concept too. For example, in the Middle Ages, we find the concept of the athleta Christi, or the athlete in Christ, the early Christian soldier martyrs, like St. Sebastian here. For our purposes, we're going to use the word athlete to refer to one who engages in an extended program of physical training directed at the optimization of physical fitness and performance attributes. Notice that this definition doesn't specify any sort of material prize or reward, other than the optimization of physical fitness and performance for their own sakes. And notice also the emphasis in this definition on physical training, which brings us to another word that we need to pin down. In our book, The Barbell Prescription, and here on the Greysteel channel, we follow our friend and colleague, the noted strength coach and author Mark Rippetoe, in making a distinction between exercise and training. Exercise is just physical activity. It's cleaning out the garage. It's a walk in the park, frisbee with the dog, hitting the machines at the local gym to work up a pump, sweating to the oldies with Richard Simmons. I may have owned an easy glider, but never did I sweat to the oldies with Richard Simmons. I just couldn't go there. Training is something else, a very special form of exercise. Training is a long-term program in which training variables are manipulated to achieve the optimization of fitness and performance attributes. Notice the similarity to our definition of athlete. Training is what athletes do. Athletes don't engage in random physical activity just to burn off a few calories or stay toned or work up a sweat. Athletes don't just exercise. Athletes train, which is an altogether more systematic, rigorous, specific, and goal-oriented activity. Now, let's think about this in the context of our exercise medicine. In our last episode, we talked about the requirements of our exercise prescription. safety, dosing, comprehensiveness, specificity, simplicity, and effectiveness. We discussed how we needed our exercise medicine to attack the components of the sick aging phenotype, and how it needed to address all of the general fitness attributes: strength, power, endurance, mobility, balance, and body composition. So our exercise prescription can't be just exercise. Exercise, any form of exercise, is far better than a sedentary lifestyle. But our opponents, time and the sick aging phenotype, are serious challengers. Easy gliders and sweating to the oldies just won't check all the boxes and deliver the powerful medicine that we need to fight them. Our exercise prescription has to go beyond exercise to deliver the medicine we need. Our exercise prescription needs to be a training program, because only training, with its explicit manipulation of physical training variables and its progressive, long-term approach to optimization of fitness and performance, fits the bill. There's something else about taking this approach that is critical. Exercise is something you do today, but training is progressive, aimed at long-term goals, and always incorporates an element of progressive overload, constantly improving on previous gains by exploiting a fundamental biological process of stress, recovery, and adaptation. We'll talk about this more in future episodes, but for now, suffice to say that this cycle hinges to a critical extent on the middle phase, recovery. We impose a training stress, we recover, we adapt, we increase the stress slightly, and the cycle begins again, with constant, steady improvements in fitness, health, and performance. This recovery phase relies on proper sleep, nutrition, stress reduction, active rest, and other variables that are realized outside the gym, off the training floor, away from the field. The true, serious athlete always pays as much attention to these recovery factors as he does to his other training variables. Indeed, these recovery factors are training variables. Exercise may be part of a healthy lifestyle, but because of its central focus on recovery, training is a healthy lifestyle. The aging adult isn't engaged in training medicine for money, trophies, or fame, or even a longer lifespan. The aging adult isn't training for more years. He's training for better years, the compression of morbidity, or expansion of the health span that we spoke of early in this series. That's the prize. And to achieve it, the aging adult will use an exercise prescription that's really a training program, encompassing behaviors both in and out of the gym. He isn't exercising, he's training. We have a word for people who do that. We call them athletes. And when they're over 40, we're going to call them athletes of aging, or masters athletes. Some purists will object to this use of the word, but I think we're on pretty solid ground here. And in any event, I consider words to be tools, not metaphysical constants. So I'm not going to argue about it. The athlete of aging, or master's athlete, is one who trains, like any other athlete, to win a prize, an expansion of the health span, and the defeat of the sick aging phenotype. And this is the point. No matter how old you are, how fat, how weak or frail or deconditioned, if you train in a long-term program aimed at the progressive optimization of your physical health, fitness, and performance, you are an athlete playing the most high-stakes game of all against time and decline and the sick aging phenotype, right here in the arena of life. So suit up. Get your game face on. Thanks for watching this episode of Greysteel. Our content is presented for educational and infotainment purposes only and will never be offered as medical advice for any particular person, patient, disease, or condition. If you have questions about your health, you should work closely with your physician. A reminder that our new book, The Barbell Prescription, Strength Training for Life After 40, is now available in Kindle format. And it's an incredibly beautiful and functional production of the book. Check it out at Amazon.com. A big shout out to our newest power patrons, Elric Williams and Laura Welcher. Thanks, guys. And thanks also to our newest patrons, Donald Close and Rob Hurst. If you want to join them and help me make more episodes like this, just go to patreon.com/Greysteel. Or if you just want to make sure you don't miss any more free content on healthy aging, go to youtube.com/Greysteel and subscribe to our channel. That helps us out a lot too. Until next time, stay strong and stay healthy.